Welcome, 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 you glorious internet detectives and connoisseurs of chaos to Deep Dive Reddit Stories.
Hey everyone!
Look, we're usually off exploring, ancient mysteries, maybe the baffling vastness of space.
Yeah, the usual.
But today we're plunging into something far more intricate, far more baffling, and arguably far more real. The internet's most wild, baffling, and sometimes utterly bonkers narratives.
Absolutely. Think modern mythology, but less Zeus, more family drama.
Exactly. Instead of lightning bolt, it's usually someone's aunt throwing shade in the family WhatsApp group. Or, in this case, a truly spectacular Reddit thread.
Indeed. And for our inaugural deep dive into these digital dramas, we've unearthed a post that, even by Reddit standards, promises a truly wild ride.
Oh, yeah.
The title alone is enough to make you do a double take. It reads, "My sister blamed me for her disabled baby," from the Short Story subreddit.
Wow.
Just let that sink in for a moment.
Yeah. Right. You read that, and your brain immediately starts buffering. Like, okay, how did we get here? What dark magic is this?
Exactly.
So let's unpack it. The original poster, OP, she's a 28-year-old woman, and she clearly loves her 3-year-old niece.
Uh-huh.
Now, the niece has this rare genetic condition, causes developmental delays. The twist, OP's 31-year-old sister and her husband, they made a very specific choice during the pregnancy.
Which was?
They refused all genetic testing.
Okay.
Their stance, a very zen, whatever happens, happens attitude.
Okay. That phrase.
Which apparently only applies when whatever happens is exactly what you wanted.
Precisely. And the OP, knowing this specific condition, actually ran in their family.
Oh, so there was history.
Yes. She admits she gently brought it up once, early in the pregnancy. Just a heads up.
Reasonable enough.
But she was promptly shut down. Her sister snapped, said something like, "Not everything's a worst-case scenario, like in your head. You're always so negative."
Ouch. Defensive.
Totally. So, naturally, the OP dropped it, which, classic case of ignoring the perfectly reasonable person who actually has the facts, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's like when your friend says, hey, maybe don't touch the hot stove. You're like, nah, it'll be fine. And then surprise, it's hot.
Right.
But instead of just saying, ouch, you blame your friend for even mentioning the stove existed.
Exactly that.
So what happened after the ouch moment when the genetic condition was, in fact, confirmed? Because I'm guessing it wasn't a humble apology.
No, far from it. After the diagnosis, which confirmed the very condition the OP had quietly worried about.
The thing she mentioned.
The exact thing. The sister exploded. And her accusation, get this.
Okay, I'm ready. Or maybe not.
That the OP had cursed the pregnancy.
Cursed it.
Yes. By planting the idea of a genetic condition, thereby manifesting the disability.
Wait, what? Manifesting? Like with thoughts?
Yes, you heard that right. Manifesting a genetic disorder through negative vibes and thoughts. She also accused the OP of being obsessed with something being wrong and ruining her experience as a mother.
Oh my God.
The OP says the room just went silent, she just walked out, and then she's left struggling with this profound emotional blame, even though logically she knows she's not the villain.
Of course she's not.
It's a truly baffling display of, well, magical thinking as a coping mechanism, wouldn't you agree? It's way easier to blame a curse than to face a difficult reality or, a choice that was made.
Magical thinking. My brain can't even compute the level of mental gymnastics required for that. If I could manifest things with my thoughts, I'd be manifesting like a personal chef and a lifetime supply of glitter, not genetic conditions.
Right. Me too. Unlimited tacos, maybe.
So, our mission for this deep dive is clear. Unpack this utterly bizarre situation, dissect the internet's collective reactions which, spoiler alert, range from incandescent outrage to pure, unadulterated sarcasm.
Oh, Reddit delivered.
And critique the truly spectacular mental acrobatics on display. We're treating this as a compelling, deeply weird narrative, pulling out nuggets of insight from the collective wisdom and sometimes, let's be real, collective outrage of Reddit.
It's a journey.
Honestly, you might need a strong beverage for this one. I certainly feel like I do.
Agreed.
So let's just quickly revisit the sister's initial stance. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, that phrase.
A phrase that typically suggests, a zen-like acceptance of fate, a sort of go-with-the-flow vibe.
Supposedly.
Turns out whatever happens only applies if whatever happens is exactly what you wanted. Because when whatever happens included a genetic condition she didn't want,
Suddenly it's not so zen.
the whole acceptance thing went right out the window. It's almost comedic if it weren't so, tragic and awful.
And that leads directly to her post-diagnosis behavior, which the OP describes as, well, pretty rough, cold, distant, passive-aggressive,
Oh, lovely.
sometimes outright hostile. Yet paradoxically, the sister still relies on the OP for babysitting.
Wait, really?
Yep. Still sends her photos, invites her to birthdays. The OP sums it up perfectly. It's like she both blames me and needs me.
Wow,
This is such a classic, painfully relatable power dynamic in dysfunctional family situations, isn't it?
totally.
It's that strange, unhealthy blend of hostility and dependency, blaming you for their struggles, but still needing your stability or support. It really shows a deep internal conflict within the sister herself.
It's the ultimate I hate you, don't leave me dynamic,
Oh,
right?
that part.
You cursed my baby with your bad vibes, but also, can you watch your Saturday while I go to brunch?
Exactly. And the OP's dilemma here is just heartbreakingly familiar to anyone caught in that kind of toxic dynamic.
Yeah.
She says, I don't want to cut her off, but I don't know how to forgive someone who made me feel like I caused this just by caring.
Ugh. It's a classic Reddit am I the a-hole setup, kind of, but the stakes are so much higher than, like, who gets the last slice of pizza.
Way higher. This is about deep emotional wounds, serious gaslighting, and the fundamental health of a family relationship.
So naturally, Reddit had thoughts. Lots of thoughts.
Oh, yes. And this is where Reddit, in its infinite wisdom, or sometimes its infinite rage, steps in. The comment section is truly Reddit's gladiatorial arena of opinions, and it definitely didn't disappoint here.
Let's hear it. What was the first wave?
We had a strong contingent of tough love comments right out of the gate, like GrandCar9312 and UsePeople2899 both jumped in with variations of, why did you walk out? You literally enabled this behavior.
Enabled it by leaving when being accused of witchcraft. Okay.
Right. And also, stop babysitting and learn to stand up for yourself. That kind of immediate, harsh judgment.
Oh, yeah, because clearly, in a tense, emotionally charged family meltdown, the immediate, most logical step is always to yell louder and cut off all childcare.
Of course.
That's always the go-to for healthy conflict resolution. Internet advice is just chef's kiss. Sometimes.
Sometimes not. But thankfully, not everyone on Reddit is a tough love guru with a sledgehammer.
Okay, good.
We also had the armchair psychologists and the deeply empathetic voices chiming in, trying to actually make sense of this emotional dumpster fire.
All right, let's hear some of that nuance.
Well, some offered genuinely insightful perspectives. Professional Hornet 2, who mentioned they're a parent of special needs children.
Okay, relevant experience.
Exactly. They offered a more nuanced take. They suggested the sister is likely acting out in grief, maybe going through a mourning period for the child that you didn't get to have.
That makes a certain kind of sense, the grief reaction.
Right. This perspective highlights how parents in that situation often focus on something to blame, to kind of shift the burden of responsibilities away from the parent.
Externalizing it.
Yeah. They contrasted this with their own approach, saying, when my kids were diagnosed, I didn't ask the questions why or how. My main concern was, what can I do to help?
That's a powerful contrast.
It brings a really important layer of understanding to the sister's likely raw emotional state, even if it absolutely doesn't excuse her behavior. It's a very common psychological coping mechanism, this externalizing of overwhelming feelings.
It's so true. And I saw Opeltroni echo that empathy, pointing out that the sister is probably devastated, trying to put a part of her mental weight on somebody else. And the OP is simply the scapegoat available, just because she knows you'll never abandon her or your niece.
That's the cruel irony, isn't it? Being reliable and caring can sometimes make you the easiest target for displaced pain.
Absolutely. It's a very relatable pain point for anyone who's ever been the strong one in a dysfunctional family, just constantly absorbing everyone else's emotional fallout.
It truly is. And then, of course, we had the Science and Logic Brigade.
Ah, yes, my people.
Who are clearly just baffled by the whole cursing the pregnancy idea.
Oh, those comments were pure gold, I bet.
Fish1374 just deadpan. What is this? The Middle Ages.
Ah, perfect.
And Management Final 3345 chimed in with, change the baby's DNA with magic. Because, thoughts are things, but apparently they can also rewrite your genetic code from scratch. Who knew?
My bad. I should have manifested that Ferrari years ago. And maybe better hair.
Exactly. Stinky Soup and Management Final 3345 both laid it out really clearly. The genetic condition was determined the moment the sperm fertilized the egg.
Basic biology.
Right. It existed before anyone even knew she was pregnant. It's a fundamental biological reality. As Management Final 3345 put it, you can't manifest a genetic disease just by making a common sense suggestion.
Yep.
The sister got a bad genetic combination that runs in your family, not a curse from her sibling. It's an almost perfect example of cognitive dissonance, isn't it? When faced with an uncomfortable truth, the mind invents a fantastical explanation to avoid responsibility.
Olympic-level mental gymnastics. That's what Finitom called it. And honestly, that feels like an understatement.
It really does.
And Non-Mercer 3000, bless their sarcastic heart, asked, is your sister a Mormon born in 1812?
Haha. Yeah, that one got me too.
Because that's the only logical explanation for this level of superstition, right? And it just highlights how desperate the sister is to avoid any personal responsibility for her choices, especially the choice not to test.
Definitely. And some comments, they delved into even darker, more uncomfortable possibilities regarding the sister's true motivations.
Oh, like what?
Well, Sunbear2Y525 suggested that the sister might be so mad because deep down, she wishes she had tested and aborted your niece due to feeling completely overwhelmed.
Wow, that's heavy.
Yeah. This viewpoint frames the anger as a projection of deep regret and guilt, a very raw and often unspoken truth that can sometimes underlie such displaced anger. It's a challenging thought for sure.
Right. But important to acknowledge the range of human emotions, even the really uncomfortable ones, as a possible interpretation reported by commenters.
Exactly. Acknowledging the viewpoint without endorsing it.
That's the deep dive way. Okay, but let's not forget the internet's deep love for spotting inconsistencies and injecting some meta humor. Because Reddit.
Ah, yes. The Reddit detectives. We had Throw Ranthanurpar and Kaflin pointing out that the OP was apparently 19 meters 2 days prior in another post, and now 28th, highlighting the fiction tag often used on stories.
Busted? Maybe.
It's a good reminder that even the most wild, deeply personal stories on Reddit can sometimes be, well, skillfully crafted fiction.
Or just inconsistent storytelling.
Although, honestly, even a fiction tag can't contain the wildness of what people come up with. It's like watching a reality show and then finding out it's scripted, but the drama is so juicy you don't even care anymore.
It's true. And, despite the potential fiction tag, the reactions and advice from the Reddit community still offer really valuable insights into how people perceive and deal with these complex, emotionally charged family dynamics.
Definitely. The reactions are real, even if the story isn't 100%.
And the prevailing advice from the comments section really coalesced around a few key themes for the OP, assuming she's real or for anyone in a similar spot.
Okay, what was the consensus? First up, boundaries. Right. Gotta be boundaries. Absolutely. Damnate Gravity advised the OP to confront her about it. That doesn't give her the right to blame you. It's no one's fault. It's just a bad roll of the dice.
Simple truth.
And the classic Reddit mic drop. Tell her if she doesn't start keeping those comments to herself, you'll stop babysitting.
There it is. Because free childcare is a privilege, not a right you have while accusing someone of, dark magic.
Exactly. Secondly, a really crucial point about the niece's well-being came up.
Oh, yeah, the kid.
Is Dotting T's warned the OP, you need to address this with her before your niece grows up. She is 3. Someday, she will be old enough to understand what her mother is saying and might start believing her.
Oh, that's a chilling thought, the kid internalizing that blame.
Yeah, it emphasizes the potential long-term impact of this unchecked blame, especially on a vulnerable child who could internalize such a toxic narrative.
So important. And finally,
the universal truth for anyone being scapegoated: refuse the role. Crediray put it simply: refusing to accept the blame or the guilt. You will not be doing her or yourself any favors by accepting false guilt.
Protect your own sanity.
It's about protecting your own mental health and, frankly, not enabling someone else's delusion. It's a hard lesson, but a necessary one when you're dealing with someone who thinks you can literally manifest disabilities with a suggestion.
Okay, let's try and unpack this beyond just the sheer absurdity, because this story, whether it's fiction or not, it lays bare some profoundly relatable, albeit really extreme, human behaviors.
Totally.
What's truly fascinating here is the sheer unbridled power of denial and displaced anger. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
Yeah.
You know exactly where it's headed, but you just can't look away.
Indeed. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the sister's actions are fundamentally a desperate, maybe destructive coping mechanism.
Yeah.
She made a choice to ignore the option of genetic testing, and when the outcome clashed violently with her desired reality, her mind just scrambled to resolve that internal conflict.
Right. The dissonance was too much.
Exactly. Rather than confront her own choices or the difficult truth, It was psychologically easier, quote unquote, to externalize the blame, even if it meant resorting to this fantastical notion of manifesting a condition.
It's a powerful illustration of how the human mind can bend reality to protect itself from uncomfortable truths, often, at the expense of others.
It really is. And this raises that important question. How often do we see this pattern in our own lives or families? Maybe less dramatically, but just as
Oh,
irrationally.
for sure.
It's almost always easier to blame a curse or a negative sibling or bad luck than to confront uncomfortable personal choices or difficult realities we don't want to face.
It's so true. This isn't just a story about a family spat. It's really a stark critique of how we process unexpected difficult outcomes.
Yeah.
The contrast between the scientific reality of genetics and the sister's almost magical thinking is just so stark. It serves as a prime example of rejecting facts for emotional convenience. You can almost feel the collective eye roll from the Reddit comments section on this one, can't you?
Definitely. A global eye roll.
It's a powerful lesson in what happens when feelings completely override facts and the bizarre narratives we sometimes invent just to cope.
And that unchecked blame has significant implications, especially for the person being scapegoated, right? The OP is carrying this massive burden that isn't hers to carry.
Totally unfair.
It highlights the immense emotional toll of being someone's punching bag. And it also exposes that complex, often messy web of family relationships, that genuine desire to maintain connection, especially with niece, while simultaneously being subjected to emotional abuse.
It's a horrible tightrope walk.
It really is. A dilemma many people in similar situations can probably empathize with, wanting to stay for love while needing to leave for self-preservation.
So, after diving deep into this particular rabbit hole, what does this all mean for you, listening out there?
Hmm.
Where this deep dive into the weird and wonderful world of Reddit family drama reminds us that sometimes the hardest truths aren't about what is, but about what people desperately wish wasn't.
Well put.
And that blame, much like a rogue glitter bomb at a craft fair, often lands squarely on the person least deserving, leaving them to clean up a sparkly, emotional mess they didn't make.
Yeah. So, our final provocative thought for you today is this. In your own life, when unexpected challenges arise, who or what do you tend to blame first?
Ooh, good question.
And maybe what truths might you be avoiding by doing so? Consider the power and the difficulty of accepting difficult realities versus the tempting magic of just assigning fault to someone or something else.
Deep thoughts for a deep dive. Right, if this exploration into Reddit stories helped you understand the bizarre corners of human behavior, or maybe just made you feel slightly better about your own family drama,
Which is always a bonus.
then you know what to do. Make sure to subscribe, maybe follow, wherever you get your audio goodness. And hey, drop a comment with your own thoughts on this story. We genuinely love to read them.
We do.
Until next time, stay curious, keep diving deep, and maybe keep an eye on those family WhatsApp groups. You never know what cursing might be going on in there.
Stay safe out there.